Greetings and welcome, fellow soldiers of Gallia, to another episode of Let's Play Valkyria Chronicles. Alright, let's get on with the clash at Naggiar on the eve of the battle.
After wresting it from the Empire's control, Squad 7 left Brule for Naggiar, the stage for this war's grandest battle. Even as they traveled, an increasing number of soldiers streamed into both camps. Both sides braced to feel the brunt of the other's army in the fight for all of Gallia.
General, as I've said 100 times now, I strongly recommend a change of tactics. With the disparity in numbers, it's lunacy to send the Gallian forces on an all-out attack. We'd stand better chances centered around our defensive holdings, fending off advances.
The enemy have gathered in one place for us. We can't let this chance slip by. If we win this one battle, we'll be able to kick those imps out of Gallia for good.
General, we lack the manpower to break through an enemy force that large.
If we're short on soldiers, why aren't you out drafting more farmhands for us?
Alright, that's it. I get that generals can maybe be a little bit callous with the use of manpower, because essentially they have to make decisions to send millions or thousands, let's not over-exaggerate the number of people that are living in Gallia, but this is just a little bit beyond that. I get that you don't like the militia, but you know, you still need those people after the war to go back to the farms and produce all the food that you need to feed that magnificent professional army of yours, General.
Do you honestly plan to let our countrymen die needlessly out there?
That depends entirely on what he considers useful.
When attacked, if not now, Varrot, we will win this battle. We must. We'll throw everything Gallia's got at them. A few casualties are going to be inevitable.
Yes, and that would be so much more convincing if you were at the front lines as well, General.
If you've got time to sit there fretting, go light a fire under those yokels of yours.
Understood. I will do my best.
Well, that seems like a very unprofessional way to lead an army.
Sorry I'm late.
We deploying?
We're still on standby. I'm figuring we'll get the order to move out a bit past noon.
Gotcha!
Is everybody ready to go?
All set and waiting for the word, but it sure looks like the enemy's got us in numbers.
They do. The invading front's nearly all here. This one's gonna be a major battle.
I've made my peace with it and all, but seeing them all lined up out there's heavy.
Guys, can I say something? I grew up in an orphanage. I don't have a family, and I always thought I was alone. But Welkin showed me I was wrong. That I wasn't alone at all. Not anymore. The Sevens are... You guys are my family now.
The squad's your family.
Before a big battle like this, it's scary. I figure I feel just like all of you do. But when I think I'm here alongside my family, I feel strong enough to fight.
Family, huh? My old folks are gone, and I got no siblings, but I bet this is what it's like. Of course, any siblings of mine would have grown up a lot better acting than you lot.
Sounds odd to say it, but you're right. And I bet Isara's watching over us all.
All right. Let's go do this.
Yeah, let's go put holes in those tanks.
Yeah, then let's all come back here together.
We'll get through this fight and see Gallia free again on the other side.
Cool. The Iron-Willed Valkyria.
Your Grace, all troops have arrived at Naggiar and adopted combat positions. This time we'll crush their feeble army and see your Grace to the doorstep of Randgries.
Make it so. Silvaria, you have never failed me in your loyalties thus far. I exist because you exist, one aside the other. You go with my trust.
Sir, your Grace, you are too kind. I was a worthless wretch before you brought me into the light of your Grace's company. Estranged from my parents before I could know them, thrown into that research facility. The object of heinous experiments and deprived of human contact. But your Grace took me from that place, raised me to be a human before a Valkyria.
Then awaken the powers within you. I betrayed the trust you placed in me.
No, Grace. Once I learned that the Valkyria's powers stir only when the body faces death. I didn't hesitate a moment. I would gladly pierce this breast again, even now.
That's a bit extreme. I mean, I get that she's got devotion for the prince here, but yeesh.
When you granted me the shield and the lance from the ruins, I became Valkyria only for you. Never until then had I thought to feel pride in the Valkyria's blood within me.
Now is the time to show the world the power that blood holds. Go forth, Silvaria. Bring victory to my army.
Yes, sir!
Alright then. Silvaria. Destroyer.
Tanks at 015. Gallian forces approaching. Approximately 2 regiments.
Silly fools. Now feel the power of the Valkyria. My Lord Maximilian, this time we will win. I promise you.
Neat. Yeah. I mean, there's no disputing that the Valkyria has power. No doubt. But it's still only one person. Regardless of how much power they have, that's not gonna stop an entire army. Now granted, because she is on the Empire side, this does put the forces of Gallia on the back foot because, well, they are outnumbered. And then having a powerhouse like this knocking on the door, that's not gonna help either. Alright, so let's go make sure that our squad is made up of people that are actually capable of fighting on the front lines properly. Alright, so make sure that nobody's on here that does not like... What's icmophobic again mean? Alright, that's not too bad. Alright, so the scouts are mostly alright. Alright, so if I do the potential on Rosie, I will see the thing here. She's lost the Dachshund hatred, I believe, so that should be nice. Alright, so Kevin definitely does not belong here because he's claustrophobic, so he needs to be replaced. Child of Nature, Trooper Killer, Panicky. Yeah, can't really have Panicky. Alright. Jan is alright. Camp Defender, Lone Wolf Misogynist. Still need to find out her potential. Well, Nils is a city kid, so let's put him away. Let's see. I'll keep Marina, she's still awesome. Do I have a replacement for him? I mean... Acrophobic, so he doesn't like heights, desert bread. Well, it's not necessarily a desert, but... Right, well, what do I need in my squad still? Maybe some more things. Alright, so country bred. Daredevil? Yeah, I think Daredevil is probably good. What does shot in mean again? Right. Let's bring another engineer.
Hello, sir.
Just in case we need some extra help. I think otherwise we're probably good enough for this setup. Yeah, probably fine. Well, probably we still have one spot to fill. Alright, so someone who doesn't mind being out here. Let's bring Hector in.
My name's
Come back.
And since we are dealing with trenches, let's switch some over to... Let's see... Super anti-armor. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so you do double tank damage. You're a tank slayer. Tank killer. Why do you have two different descriptions for stuff like that? Heightened accuracy and tends to do double damage, right? So when you have two or more tanks, they receive a boost to attack related parameters. Not sure that will be ever entirely applicable, but we'll see. Tank killer, super anti-armor. Alright, well, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's switch you over to the that one. Only this current unit. And let's give you one as well, just in case something goes wrong. Right. Let's begin the battle. Much as I would love to run the skirmish before this.
This is a full-scale showdown against the Empire's entire invasion force. Here are the details.
The Imperial forces are holed up in an expansive network of trenches across the Naggiar plain. Our soldiers have also been working to dig trenches, but the folks upstairs have issued an order for an all-out attack. Do your best to avoid enemy fire as you make your way into their trenches. Then commence your offensive. Your objective is the occupation of the enemy's base camp. You'll notice there's a broad patch of no man's land between their trenches and ours, wide open to heavy bombing. If our intel is right, they have off-site long-range rockets trained on the area. They can't hit you inside those trenches, but more or less the entire flatland area will be caught in the blast. We think the order to fire is being issued from an enemy's camp midway across the combat area. If you occupy the right camp, you should be able to prevent any more rockets from coming in. Good to know. Furthermore, because of their inability to avoid those rockets, you won't have your tanks to start with this time. Once you've stopped the rockets, the tank can be deployed. Until then, it's up to the foot soldiers to take that camp. Alright, so we are also starting with a deficit without Zaka or Welkin. Which also means there's no smoke. If things were difficult enough. Alright, let's see. Well, let's start with the A team over here then.
It's time to begin the operation. I ask that you give me 100% on this one.
As I've not been doing that before. Granted, I'm not entirely sure I've got the right mix, but I'll try.
Well, here we are, I guess. That enemy camp looks awfully well protected.
This one's going to come down to slipping past the enemy fire and into their lines.
Lieutenant Gunther, that Valkyria from Barrius has been sighted here as well.
Well, crap.
The Eastern Front is suffering debilitating losses to her as we speak.
Are you serious?
It's possible she'll head this way before much longer. Keep your eyes open.
Right. Well, as long as we are in the trenches, it doesn't matter. So either this camp or that camp are responsible, I think. Or this camp, probably. Because it has the thing mark. I have no idea what the enemy is doing. Let's have some fun.
Enemy unit spotted! Enemy sighted!
Alright, so you want to immediately have some fun, do you?
I'm impressed, but not surprised.
Alright, we got a lot of action over here.
Be extremely cautious.
I'll just park it here for now, because Who knows what else I can do, because now I can finally see what the enemy is up to. But we'll have to leave it here for now. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.